Welcome to Wisdom from the Word. Bible Fellowship Church is a family of believers who want to help others discover and strengthen their relationship with Jesus Christ. And we're praying this message helps you strengthen your walk with Him. Now let's dive in.
My name's Mike Swaine. I'm an elder here at Bible Fellowship Church, and I'm here today to bring you some wisdom from the Word. The Bible is full of wonderful advice for us, and a lot of it comes out of Proverbs, which was written by King Solomon. You probably remember that when King Solomon was being ordained as king by the Lord God, God asked him, he said, "What would you like for me to give you?" And he said, "Give me wisdom." And he gave it to him in double doses. And back in his day, he was known as the smartest man in the world. As a matter of fact, he was so smart that Queen of Sheba, who was one of the richest rulers in the world, came to see him and wanted to find out if he was as smart as they said. And this is all set out in 2 Chronicles. And she was so impressed he could answer all of her questions and give her all the advice she needed that she gave him 17 tons of gold. Now, a ton is 2,000 pounds, so 17 of those is a lot of gold. But anyway, she gave him the gold. But the two proverbs that I want to share with you today are talking about discipline. The first one is in chapter 13, verse 24. It says, "Whoever spares the rod hates their children, but the one who loves their children is careful to discipline them." I think that's where we get our old saying about spare the rod and spoil the child. That always bothered me a little bit because when I was young, I envisioned a rod being something like a baseball bat, and I thought it was telling people to beat your children, and that's really not what it's talking about. The second one I want to share with you is talking about coming from the other side, and that's in verse 11 and 12 of chapter 3 of Proverbs. And it says, "My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline, and do not resent his rebuke, because the Lord disciplines those he loves, as a father the son he delights in." And so here God's saying, or Solomon is saying, God, if he delights in that one of us, when he's delighting in us, he's going to discipline us if we do something wrong so we can continue to delight in him. Just like a son or a grandson or a daughter or a granddaughter brings delight to the grandparents or the parents when they are behaving and doing well. When I was a young man, I was in between getting my undergraduate degree and going to law school, and I worked for the Polk County Juvenile Enforcement Department. And part of what I did was I worked in the juvenile detention home and ended up taking in kids who were brought in after hours by the local authorities and things of that type, and trying to stop fights and trying to help take care of these kids. And we had one kid who was the meanest little kid you ever met in your life. He was about 10 years old, and he absolutely would do anything. It couldn't have been so bad that he wouldn't do it. And the other kids were afraid of him. I was told to watch him carefully, and so I did. And one evening after hours, I was roaming around, checking the doors, making sure everything was closed up right, and I heard crying coming out of one of the rooms, and it came out of this kid's room. And so I went in and asked him what was going on, and he said, "My father doesn't love me. He doesn't even like me." And I said, "No, I'm sure that's not true. Fathers, always love their children." And he said, "No, mine doesn't." He said, "He hates me." And I said, "Well, how do you know he hates you?" And he said, "Because he never stops me from doing something wrong. He never has disciplined me. He never has spanked me. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about me, and so he doesn't love me." And here's a kid that was going further and further bad, challenging the father to take some action and try to stop him, or to stop him. He was looking for love from the father. One of the things that I think about when I think about these practices, these paragraphs, is some parents I have had tell me that they had a problem with their kids. They couldn't get them to behave, and they said, "I just want to be my son or my daughter's friend. I don't want to make them mad and have them dislike me. I want to be their friend." And my advice to them has always been they don't need another friend. They've got plenty of friends. What they need are parents. And so show them that you love them by taking control of it, the situation, and help them overcome whatever their problem is. And that's exactly what Proverbs is telling us. It's if you're talking about your children, it says, whoever spares the rod hates their children, but the one who loves their children is careful to discipline them. When you're disciplining a child, you're telling them, I love you, but I'm not going to let you turn out to be something that you shouldn't be. And I appreciate your being with us today, and we'll look forward to talking to you another day. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you for joining us for Wisdom in the Word. If you're looking for additional resources to help strengthen your walk with Jesus Christ, visit bfcsebring.com or download our mobile app.